Namaste, beloveds. This is Valerie Ames, aka Mother with Wisdom, and this is the second portion of the video Swallowing and Digesting the Bitter Truth in Order to Heal. This, again, is the tarot portion of that, and I'm just going to jump right into it. The first card that was given was Polar Bear. Polar Bear keeps coming up, beloveds, and there's reason for that. Polar Bear, stand up for yourself. Speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. And when you think about that as being medicine, the bitter truth of medicine, an actual dose, stand up for yourself. Speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. So let's see what else that has to say. Page 94. Here we go. When you express yourself from your heart and from, this light is getting on my nerves, so yeah, sorry about that. When you express yourself from your heart and from a place of power, it's an unbeatable combination. You don't need to growl or bully, nor do you need to fade into the background and deny yourself the opportunity to directly affect the situation. By showing up and being completely present, even when you're simply listening, you're a force to be reckoned with. And beloveds, I want us to hear that because it's so powerful. You know, the ancients and the indigenous ones, they understood the silence of presence. They understood that you don't always have to speak your thoughts, that sometimes even your presence is enough to get your point across, because your spirit speaks without words. Simply listening, you are a force to be reckoned with. Know thyself. Don't be triggered. Don't be the bear that's always being poked. Stand and look someone in their eye and just listen to what's coming from them, even if they're silent. Be able to look them in their eyes and receive what's coming from their spirit. Ask for what you want and see what happens. Don't get worked up about how it turns out. You may or may not get what you want, but at least your chances are better if you do ask. As for setting boundaries with others, such as saying no to requests or demands, when you do so, they may respect those boundaries or try to test them. If they do test the limits you've set, stand your ground, be clear, and don't apologize. And this is coming to mind for me, beloveds, of the time that we're in. We are no longer apologizing or we no longer need the apologies of others to be who we are. We need to be whole in who we are. And that doesn't come from someone else validating. Approach the situation with the purity and innocence of a child and the focused intensity of a true warrior, one who doesn't speak or act from anger, but from a place of truth and dignity. Know that when you do so, you'll have feared nothing. You'll have nothing to fear. Associations, fearlessness, purity, leadership, powerful provider, self-control, strength, wisdom, nobility, conservation, intensity, playfulness, and adaptability. And that is what the polar bear stands for. See the polar bear within yourself. Know the presence of the polar bear. Know that when that polar bear stand up, understand, stand up and speak for yourself. Let your presence do it all. The next card is the tiger. You're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. Look at the stance of that tiger. Look at the eyes. Look at the paw placement. Leadership, stepping forward. You're being called. The colors of that green. I don't know if you can see how the green is shadowing the eyes and everything, but it's tying everything in for me, and I'm seeing the heart chakra, letting that heart chakra be what leads you. Okay, let's see. Tiger. 117, which is a 9. Okay. You're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. Being an effective and compassionate leader requires that you know the art of balancing yin and yang. Again, beloved, balancing yin and yang, the stance of those 4 legs, the balance of the head, using the tail, understanding the whole body. See the shoulder blade up. Understanding your body, being present in all of your body. Being an effective and compassionate leader requires that you know the art of balancing yin and yang, discerning when to advance and when to yield, and pay attention to the subtleties and the flow of the group process, while simultaneously staying attuned to your own intuitive voice. And this came forth in the previous video with this title, Beloveds. This is all about the medicine. This is all about the medicine, beloveds. Taking the medicine, swallowing and digesting the bitter truth in order to heal. So Spirit is giving us some very specific symbols. This right now is the animal kingdom. We have the plant kingdom with the bitter herbs. We're being told to balance with the yin and yang, understand the flow of something. So that means you need to understand the frequencies and the spectrums, and also the spectrum of single to collective. Beloved, we're being told to focus on that and understanding that you as an individual are also part of the collective, and understand the flow between the two. And understand that, again, this whole Trump thing, this whole sickness thing with the virus, all of it's interwoven. Regardless of you see conspiracy theories, regardless of if you believe it's man-made, all of it is still interwoven. The details of it, it's here. What is it saying? What is it a spirit of? This is a spirit communicating with your spirit. What is it saying? While simultaneously staying attuned to your own intuitive voice, whether your role as leader applies to your family, friends, employees, or a nation, you must listen to those around you and respond to their needs with strength and compassion, And when you deem it necessary, you need to follow your own sensibilities, even though others may disagree with you. To the best of your ability, make your decisions based on what you determine to be for the greatest good, rather than catering to self serving needs. So, when we're looking at what's taking place in our government, are they serving their self centered, career minded, power driven, own issues? Or is it for the greater good of the nation? And you need to be aware of this because you elect these people. So there is an amount of responsibility that is upon you because you put these people in this position with your vote. Are they self-serving, or are they looking out for the greatest good of all? Fear and doubt may arise at times, but don't let them determine you from your purpose. The best leaders aren't perfect, but they're willing to take calculated risks based on their own convictions and passionate desire to do the right thing. On occasion, you may stumble or even fall, but don't let that impede the acceptance of the leadership you're being called to provide. Others are looking to you for guidance. Don't let it go to your head, but do let it go to your own heart. The associations of the tiger. Let's see. Association of the tiger. Sensuality, passion, independence, confidence, clairvoyance, mysticism, intuition, power, agility, gracefulness, loyalty, intensity, devotion, focus, patience, stealth, healing, vitality, regeneration, adventure, challenge, tactily, sexuality. So, once again, beloveds, these are the medicines that we need to bring into healing. And it goes so much to the last video, beloveds. Like I said, it just blows my mind how integrated each of these spiritually selected cards are to the topic itself, to the energy of the topic itself. The next one is gorilla. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. And this one is outlined in blue. And blue is the throat chakra. And yet it's asking us to listen, not just to speak, but to listen. Listen to what is being spoken. Okay, let's see what gorilla has to say. Page 55, which is a 10, which is also a 1. The bond between family members can gradually decay and become stultified unless it's continually nourished with loving attention. And one of the simplest, yet most elegant ways of showing that attention is to listen compassionately to those you care about the most. Beloveds, we'll be being given a very specific message here. The bitter medicine is about listening compassionately to others. That is the medicine we are being given to take right now, is to shut our mouths and listen compassionately. Listen to what others are saying. Listen to their viewpoints. Listen to their ideas. Listen to their pain. Listen to their suffering. Listen. Don't judge. Don't think you have to give an answer. Listen. Listen with all of yourself. Listen with all of your being. Listen with your spiritual self to them. Otherwise, you risk taking them for granted, assuming that they'll always be there and that they know you love them. Never. That's one of our biggest lessons as human beings. We take so much for granted. We take so much for granted. We take so much for granted about the earth mother herself. We take so much for granted about the things, the plants, the animals, the water, the elements. We take so much for granted. And that is shown. That is shown by how we treat the earth, how we coexist with the earth, how we use her resources. We don't listen to her. We're not in tune with her because we're not in tune with ourselves. And so it's hard to be in tune with another when you're not in tune with yourself. That's why the inner work is so necessary, beloveds. Take time to have a conversation, starting with relatively superficial topics, then moving into more in-depth, personal themes, adding your own tidbits, but primarily focusing on what the other person has to say. Show your spouse, partner, children, parents, or elders your love by listening and really hearing what they have to say about how they feel and what they think. This not only generates a deeper, more lasting affection between you and the other person, but far exceeds glibly saying, I love you, with no real feeling behind it. People are constantly changing and evolving, adding new experiences and insights. Who someone is today, while built on a foundation of a core self, changes and is continuously elaborating on that core self. Find the newness and freshness in those you love, which includes both your biological and marital families as well as your close friends, whom you've informally adopted as family. Beloveds, like I said, this is blowing me away because all of this was said in a certain way in the first video. And to have it reinforced and confirmed and expanded upon is just these different frequencies. The gorilla energy. Everything teaches if you allow. Are you listening with compassion to something that's higher than you? The association of the gorilla: intelligence, peacefulness, family strength, nobility, generosity, gentleness, calmness, vegetarianism, loyalty, patience, dexterity, steadiness, scrutiny, and conservation. The next card is Unicorn. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression. Unicorn. And for me, the colors are more with the violet because you have the red and the blue and the mixtures and the blendings goes up to the third eye chakra, that indigo violet chakra. transcending all of the lower chakras, so to speak. So let's go to unicorn and see what we have further. 123, which is a 6. 23. Here we go. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression. Whatever the artistic vehicle through which you express your most creative self, whether it's drawing, poetry, painting, music, acting, or any other form of creative expression, make it a priority in your life. By devoting some time, energy, and perhaps even money toward this artistic pursuit, let the longing of your heart determine the form of your imaginative expression is, but let it be one that elicits passion and purpose. Allow it to evolve as needed without acceding to any internal perfectionism about the end product. The process itself is where the magic is. Let that alone be your satisfaction and delight, and you'll be pleased with the results. That hits home with me because if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm always sharing memories of, and the memories go all the way back to like 11 years. And I used to write poetry prolifically. And I've kind of been holding myself back from it pretty much. Poetry and short stories and stories. Just I've been holding it back. And because the satisfaction has been diminished for me. And so seeing this and hearing, let the process itself be the satisfaction that's needed. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Whether this avocation continues as a hobby or turns into something you receive compensation for, never do it solely for the money. There's no need to act out the starving artist scenario, but when you make monetary rewards your primary goal, you risk stifling the creative pulse that emanates from the core of who you are, potentially compromising the integrity of your artistic gift to the world. Should you ever be uncertain about following your passion with this kind of expression, take some time to observe children. Notice how innocently and how imaginatively they play in their world, particularly when unhindered by social restrictions and artificial boundaries. This is a reflection of the magical child who's inside you begging to explore and be expressed. So have fun. Associations with the unicorn: magic, mysticism, virtue, honesty, purity, chastity, inspiration, protection, restoration, manifestation, power, gentleness, humility, healing, unity, and virginity. Powerful card, beloved. Powerful message. And now we come to the last message from the animal spirit guides, and it's manatee the dugong. Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Manatee the dugong. Let's see what it has to say. Page 70, which is a 7. Sevens have been coming up a lot lately. There are times to fight for what you believe in and times to lay down your sword and surrender. If you or your family were in imminent danger, it would be quite natural to defend yourself by either fleeing or fighting, whether through action or words. Extreme situations may even require extreme measures. There are definitely wrongs to make right, and situations where the spiritual warrior in you must take the lead. Understand that portion and that part of you, beloveds, that spiritual warrior, okay? The spiritual warrior doesn't just rush into everything willy nilly, it is very patient. Think of the spiritual fruits of the Spirit. It is a warrior from those perspectives, okay? And this is who you should strive to be, that spiritual warrior. However, it's not the case here. What will work best for all concerned is you to surrender and accept things as they are, yield in order to overcome. And, beloved, that comes in knowing, again, the polarities and the spectrums of existence. Excuse me. Not everything has to be a heated battle. Sometimes more is accomplished through the surrendering. Lay down your sword, not in defeat or in self-sacrifice, but from a realization that this isn't the fight you want or need to engage in. As the saying goes, choose your battles. This is definitely not one to waste your time and energy on. Say the serenity prayer aloud. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let go of your righteousness and your ego's need for control. Find, find that peace of mind that you so cherish and have available simply by choosing it. The manatee, associations, gentleness, loving, childlike, friendliness, exploration, inquisitiveness, playfulness, nonviolence, calmness, fearlessness, innocence, acceptance, and surrender. Beloveds, these cards, all 5 of them, have really the message, take to heart the message, beloveds. And the messages are so interrelated and interwoven. Innocence, childlike. And this is to do with bitter medicine and healing. So we're being told what to do to heal. Okay, let me go forward. I pulled one card from the Archangel Raphael Healing deck. That card was, here we go again, children. Bitter medicine in children, beloved. And this card is on page 26, which is an 8. This card comes to you in response to your question regarding children. Archangel Raphael hears your prayers and is helping you behind the scenes. The fact that you've drawn this card indicates that children are involved in the situation as well as in the answer to your prayers. Children's faith in fairness and in life is a powerful healing cure, and you're advised to perceive this experience through a child's eyes. Trust and have faith. How powerful is that? I'm going to read it again, beloveds, and understand that the topic of this reading and the video before it is about the swallowing and digesting the bitter truth in order to heal. Children's faith in fairness and in life is a powerful healing cure, and you're advised to perceive this experience through a child's eyes. Trust and have faith. If If you've been following me on Facebook and my other um, Blog Talk Radio and my YouTube channel and so forth and so on, you'll know that I am a women and children's advocate. I champion for children. Um, the trafficking of children right now, the sexual trafficking, the exploitation of children right now. I want you to understand what is being exploited and what is being trampled and what spirit children represent. They represent the spirit of faith and fairness, okay? Faith and fairness. So if you're attacking the spirit of children, you're attacking trust and faith and fairness. You're trying to take that out of the world. You're damaging it. You're attacking it. You're being cruel to it. You're traumatizing the child. You're taking away their belief in trust. You're taking away their belief in fairness. So understand what you're seeing when you see this world, this man's world, and how it treats children, what it's doing, there's a conversation taking place. What is that conversation saying? What we allow to happen to children, what are we saying? What are we agreeing to? Not just the children in our own families, but the children around the world. They have their own spirit. Their spirit, the spirit of children, contributes so much to this planet. I spoke in the video about seeding and hope for the next 7 generations, and here we go. This Archangel Raphael card about healing. It's a bitter medicine, it's a bitter truth to accept of what we have allowed to happen to the children of this world. What is happening to them on a daily basis. Those that are starving, those that are enslaved in work camps, those that are being sold and sexually exploited. To other human beings for their pleasure, regardless of the spirit of that child. Individually and collectively, these things matter, beloveds. We have much medicine to swallow. Much of it is bitter. But the healing will not begin until we swallow it, until we digest it. Until we begin to heal from it. That is the listening to. Let the medicine teach you. Listen to it. What is the medicine saying? What conversation is it having? This sickness is an aspect of us, individually and collectively, that needs to be healed. Do we know how to communicate with it? What more does it have to do to get our attention? How much more do we need to suffer? How many more wounds need to be inflicted? How much more trauma needs to be suffered and passed on until we're ready to heal. It's in our hands. We have to receive it. Possible specific meanings: conception, pregnancy, birth, or adoption. Your life purposes involves helping children. The angels are assisting the child you've inquired about. Develop childlike qualities such as innocence, purity, awe, and playfulness. Take guided action to help your child. Your children are watched over and protected. My prayer: dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to help children. Very powerful, beloveds. And again, we've got the children, we've got the purity, we've got innocence. And this is what we're being told that needs the healing within us. And it is a bitter medicine to swallow. There are 2 cards left, beloveds, and I'm just going to go into them. The first card was one that was pulled from all of the cards, and it is the Apprentice of Bowls. The Apprentice of Bowls. And this is taken from the Medicine Woman Inner Guidebook by Carol Bridges. And I'm just going to begin reading it, beloveds. And it starts with a prayer. Apprentice of Bowls, a devotion of joy and healing. Prayer. If I am sick, you heal me. If I am lonely, you send me a friend. If I need to grow, you challenge me. If I am tired, you grant me rest. Great Spirit, I trust in you. I see now that I too can be a messenger of hope for others. I can tell them what I have learned and how you have helped me. I will bring your love to the bodies, minds, and hearts of those who need you. I will be a comforter. Your spiritual messengers will be my guides. How powerful is that? Lesson. All of your time is devoted to love. It does not matter what you are loving, for you have surrounded yourself with things of value and meaning. You appreciate your relationships and spend time improving your ability to communicate the love you feel for each person in your life. You are learning to be completely immersed in your high self. Prayers flow as naturally and as random thoughts once did. You have formed a personal relationship with an aspect of divinity, perhaps a guide from inner planes, a saint, or a guru in the outer world. At the least, you have someone within whom you see, God, and whom you like to emulate. Your intuition is strong and you want to use it. Go ahead. You are an apprentice, and this is a learning stage. You learn by doing and reviewing. You would not be this far if you had not developed qualities in yourself that you can trust. There's quite a bit of magic in your life now. Use it always for the greater good. Power is at your command, and you are entrusted by your spiritual progress. Thus far, to use it wisely. Your goal is God realization, not success in worldly terms. That is so powerful and so potent a message, a devotion to joy and healing, beloveds. That is such a powerful one. And beloveds, we have 3 cards. Wow. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There are 7 fish around this card, flowing. Again, that number 7. Again, we see the leaves in this card. Again, we see the spiritual being and the physical being. And we're seeing what's going on inside the physical body. And it's all connected to the spiritual body. And we're not alone in this. And that we have to allow the child part of ourselves to emerge and to know that all of it is connected. All of it is within the flow. I'm seeing these fish as dolphins, and they're all going in the same direction. Okay, the next card, beloveds, is the 8 of Bowls. And this card just jumped out and just demanded to be in this reading, the 8 of Bowls. Okay. Journey of love, prayer. With the foundation of love that we have built together, we know we can now accept a caring role in the lives of others. Great Spirit, guide us on our way to the fulfillment of our spiritual vessels. We no longer have need of mere pleasures for self alone, but seek to find pleasure as we give love, healing, and service to those who most need our care. Let us know where to serve. We are ready. Lesson. That's a powerful prayer. That's a very powerful prayer. And I can truthfully say that is so much on point with where I am, with the conclusions that I've reached within myself lately. It is the healing that's so needed. And so it's also the role of that I'm allowing myself to step into because I'm being guided there. I've been being guided there for a long time, but there's always been so many forms of resistance. But everything is everything, beloveds, and we are who we are. Lesson. You have built a solid base from which to take a journey of love and higher exploration. You long for the divine and cannot resist the urge to go even deeper into this love. You know there is more than human love, and you aim to find it. It may be tempting to think there is simply a better human to love, but use caution. You are seeking union with a divine force. Do not give up what you have built as your strong human companionship along the sacred way. It may be time for some changes or adjustment in the relationship, but realize what you have while clearing the way to go on. Seek the eternal. There, that is all that will satisfy you now. Anything else will be at best give temporary pleasure. Renouncing the world does not mean to have nothing. It means your soul is not possessed by those things around you or those beings around you. Use what you have to liberate yourself from the bondage you feel. Use your inner resources. Recognize your external environment. The movement you want is internal. And beloveds, this is so powerful because so many of us think that we need to give our all, our devotion, our true devotion to a being or to a cause or to a state of conscious awareness. And what this is saying is, don't seek. What you're seeking is not in those things. What you're seeking is in the eternal itself, the all and nothing. And you're never going to be satisfied by a person, place, or thing. So this is very, very powerful, beloveds. Very powerful. Recognize your external environment. The movement you want is internal. Again, that is a communication, and that is medicine. That is bitter medicine, because some of us want to hold on to things, hold on to ideas of things, and our own reckoning of things, and it's making us sick. It's making us sick. It's individually and collectively. Okay, this last card, and this will be the end of the reading, is number 10, which is a 1, and it is the Harvest card. And I was told to put all of the major arcana cards together and pull from them. And this is the Harvest card in the Medicine Woman deck, but in the regular tarot, this is the Wheel of Fortune card. Number and meaning 10, manifestation. Traditional name, Wheel of Fortune. The Medicine Woman energy, the season's harvest. Affirmation. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination has become true through my words and actions. The Creator is embodied in me. I gratefully accept the harvest of my creation. How powerful is that? Beloveds, that is the bitter medicine right there. That is the affirmation of healing. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination, in my thoughts, in my being, my desires, everything, my feelings. Excuse me 1 minute. Let me pause. Okay, beloveds. That was my daughter. She woke up out of a dream. She's in California. She woke up out of a dream. She heard me calling her. So, this is deep. Okay. Affirmation. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination has become true. Through my words and actions, the Creator is embodied in me. I gratefully accept the harvest of my creation. Excuse me. That's very powerful, beloved. What I'm getting from that, and what I'm getting to say from that, is that we have arrived at a place that we have asked for. In our own being the sovereign, the Messiah, and the messenger, everything that we have imagined that we incarnated with from the beginning to now, up to this period, is to get us into the next phase of our evolution. And so we have to see and hear what our imaginations have created. We have to really look at this world that we are existing in and understand that we have control over it. It does not have control over us. Okay. And that the medicine This is the bitter medicine and the sweet medicine all in one. All that I have allowed to dwell in my imagination has become true through my words and actions. The Creator is embodied in me. I gratefully accept the harvest of my creation. That means all the division, all of the uncertainty, all of the doubt, all of the fears, all of the judgments. We have brought all of these things about because we are the creators. And the Creator is within us. And we have to go within and swallow the medicine that we have created, what we are enduring, the suffering that we're enduring, individually and collectively. We have inflicted these wounds upon humanity and upon the earth and upon ourselves and upon the children. And it is up to us, the Creator within us, to imagine a better world as being better beings that have more power to create paradise instead of creating deeper hells and hell realms. The card speaks. You have heard it spoken. The word has become flesh and dwells among us. The words you have kept in your mind for good or evil have come into material form. The images you have dwelled on have become real. That which you have imagined, imaged in, imaged-in, imaged in, that which you have imaged in has come into actual being. In the beginning was the word you held in your mind, spoke through your mouth, and now the son of that word is here. The word is embodied in your flesh. Whatever you have sown, so will you reap. That time is now. I am the wheel of life, the turning of the seeds you have sown. You may count on me to bring good luck if you have listened and followed levels, cards 0 through 9. I am the law of karma. You have put your energy out into the world in certain ways. These include thoughts as well as actions. And now, whatever you have given returns. And now, whatever you have given returns. This is the rhythm of life. This is the rhythm of emotion. Anger begets anger. Joy begets joy. One cycle is completed. You have now experienced in fullness a certain aspect of your life. If you have done your inner work, a desire has been realized. A new step in your spiritual journey will unfold before you now. You begin the wheel of fortune spinning when you took a gamble. As the fool, you stepped into new territory. You tried using your present personality and environment in some new ways as the magician. As the high priestess, you began to see yourself as a casual force. Then, as empress, you took with love upon the person full of potential that you are. You looked with love upon the person full of potential that you are. As emperor, you began to make a structure to put that potential to work. Listening to the voice within, the Hierophant, you figured out just how to interface with the world. Working together, you became lovers with your inner world, bringing it into outer manifestation. In the Chariot, you experienced your accomplishment. Then you built up your inner strength until you could stand alone and steady as the hermit, lighting the way for others who follow. This is the turning of the wheel of tarot. I bring you the results of this whole energy cycle. Your task now is to accept, rejoice. Be glad in what is and go on. Just as the gambler might have a drink to the game after a round of cards. Whether she or he has won or lost, celebrate now just because you have come this far. Give a toast to the flow. Shake hands with your friends for a game well played. As a medicine woman, you understand now that the seeds you gave to the wind through your nurturing have grown into the food that nurtures yourself. You have used the tools at hand, seeking vision from within as to how to make these everyday things and make them work for you. You looked and listened to Earth, your environment. You took command of your resources. You carried in your heart the vibration of peace, seeking the good of the whole. Through your loving action, you found a great spirit, which then flowed through you as you moved through the challenges you encountered. Your imagining power of mind, like a strong horse. Horse has been coming up on Facebook lately in my memories. That carried you through the strongest opposition. In your wisdom, you called on the healing forces, and guidance came to you. Now you rest. This is the way of the medicine woman. Card 0 through 10. This is the journey of the medicine wheel. Self-questioning. Do I allow myself to rest after my cycle of work? Do I accept what I have done after I have done it? Or do I use this time to criticize myself? Very powerful questions. Very powerful questions. And like I said, for me, this whole bitter medicine again, once again, is me learning to appreciate the rest period. I haven't been sleeping at night. I've been sleeping all day. My pattern is totally messed up. And lately, my stomach has been off. My digestive system is off. And there's a lot coming forth. And so this bitter medicine is more than just the physical body. It's the mental body, it's the emotional body, it's the spiritual body. And it's learning to listen to these bodies and learning to be in tune with these bodies. Okay. Exercise. Make a wheel of fortune by drawing a circle, dividing it into the major areas of your life, such as health, relationships, work, spirituality, enjoyment, or whatever categories you prefer to use. Then find magazine photos or draw in those images of things you would like to see happen through you in the next 6 months of time. Note that I said through you, not to you. So this is what's called an image board or vision board is what we used to call them. And I love the fact that she stresses through you, not to you. So you're giving birth to this. It's coming through you. It's not something that's going to happen to you. It's coming through you. Put the wheel of fortune where you will notice it every day. The images will implant in your subconscious and seemingly without effort begin to draw you into situations and learnings which will bring about the results you have imaged in. Meditation. Imagine that you are sitting before a large wheel of fortune. Give it a spin and see if the jackpot is yours today. If you are off the mark, ask what is interfering with your good luck. Visualization. In your easy and relaxed way, begin to daydream of all the good, fortunate things you have wished for and received. Make your images clear, detailed, and colorful. Let yourself see how much you have harvested. See the support you have been given by various people's own lives. Allow the richness of your resources to become clear. Then give the mental command that your ability to draw to yourself the things, people, and situations you desire is increasing daily, and that your desires are ever constantly aligning with the greatest good for all. Enjoy. Astrological sign is Jupiter. Food. If you were wise enough to plant a garden, now is your time to reap the harvest. Prepare a feast of foods you have nurtured in love and feel the warmth and energy that they return to you. Colors. Violet. Violet is the ray that clears old karma. It has been called the cosmic eraser. Whether you wear it or meditate on it, its action is to clean out the molasses of confused thinking and limiting beliefs and make space in your body cells to hold the light. Um, that violet color came up in spirit through the unicorn card. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical sides through some form of artistic expression. So that is being emphasized in this reading, in this deck, as well as the Animal Speaks deck, beloveds. And you can listen to that portion of the reading again if you need to rewind it and see what came through. The medicine wheel. There are medicine wheels of various kinds in every ancient tradition, though they may be laid out in stone or known only inwardly. The sacred circles teach the laws of life. A wheel turns. What you place at one point comes back to you later. The wheel of fortune as we know it in the games of chance, seems to bring us unexpected good fortune or loss. But the truth is, here we go with this, the truth, the bitter medicine, but the truth is, though it may be unexpected, it is not entirely unpredictable. It is just that usually by the time the results come in, we have long since forgotten our initial output and its connection to those results. The medicine woman inner guidebook works with the four powers medicine wheel, a multi-level circle of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energies that flow through you strongly at particular times of the year. In the north direction, that's the polar bear that came, the wheel is at winter, a time that quite naturally turns your focus to how well you have prepared yourself materially for winter weather. Is your home secure? Your wood in, your car battery charged? Is there food stored for the long cold season? Even if you do not live in a cold climate or have to provide your own food and heat from your direct manual labor, these urges are primal. There are still preparations to make for the outgrowth of spring if you want to have the greatest sense of renewal when that season arrives. In the east, spring arises. It is the energy of dawn, and this is the tiger, of inspiration, hope, excitement, new adventure. It is a sexual time, a creative time, an uplifting, renewing, spiritually exciting time. Your energy quite naturally goes outward to new pursuits, new people. You want to plant, whether you plant seeds for flowers, food, or future fun. The whole earth is saying now is the time. South, this is coming forth as the gorilla for me. In the south, summer is upon us. This is when your garden flourishes. Every seed you have planted emotionally, your wishes and desires must be carefully watered by a clear mind. You are to weed your mind of thoughts that interfere with growth and maturity of those things you start in spring. No abandoning ship here unless you want to lose the harvest. It is a time for sorting out, planning, and developing. You carry toward maturity those things you begin in your spring inspiration stage. Fall is the manatee. That's what I'm getting. Fall at the west gate of the wheel will show you what you have done. Your labors will bear fruit, and that which needs to be put to rest will be destroyed. Fall will find you fine tuning your relationships and getting ready for a long, cozy winter. If you understand that the wheel asks you to prepare for the time forthcoming, if you pay no attention to the cycles and seasons of life and the energies they call into play, you will be constantly surprised, and not always happily, with what Lady Luck brings you. Find your place on the wheel and attend to energies. It is calling from you now. That's very powerful, beloveds. That's so very powerful. Um, I the wheel of I if you want to know more about this wheel, beloveds, um, Google the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck, the meaning of it. Um, but I think we got a very clear understanding of what the medicine of the medicine wheels is all about, beloveds, in this. This has been a very deep reading, beloved, and I hope you have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it, and I will be watching it again because all of the things that came from it were born new. And so um, there's a difference in giving it and receiving it. So, namaste, beloveds. Be blessed. And listen to your body. If there's so much changing right now, as far as paradigm shifts, solar energy shifts, lunar energy shifts, planetary shifts, so much is happening. The age shift itself. There's so much happening, beloveds. If you be aware of the changes within your body, get more rest, take more water, filtered water in, nourish yourself, and understand the winter period and what it represents. Namaste, beloveds. Thank you.